to Marna. And then Marna would take out the sweet, he'd give it to them, and he would say, I'm sorry for hitting you, but this brought my nafs down. He's like being told off by a child. Abhi so big people older than him gave him Salaam Alaikum. Goes up, little kid is yelling at him and making fun of him. And then he says, Ab my nafs came down. Ab mujhe meri haysiyat pata chali. But then he also hits the kid. Not like smack, but like, you just tap the kids a little bit on the back. So now he's, uska bhi haq na jaye. Here, take some candy. And the kid will go, oh, I'm happy. You forgive me? Oh, yes, I forgive you. Okay, take another candy. This is how they do islah of others and islah of themselves as well. Oh no, it wasn't. It's not the abuse. This is more of like, when you see kids on the street. No. We are not talking about abuse. We're talking about when the kids and you just flick their ear, hit them on the thing. It's those teasing type of things. And plus, this is a story of 100 years ago. So this is a 100-year-old story. I was in Panabhawan and they took me to a street. And they said, and a lot of those kids were his family kids. Because the people that lived around that area he was a very wealthy man. He had a lot of zameen, a lot of land. He used to finance thousands of people that used to come to his masjid himself. He had a lot of money. And everyone in that area were his family people. It's Mufti Taqi Usmani and them, they're all family roots back to him. It's a very huge family. It's a huge family. So it's not gharon ke kids. It's those like nieces and nephews and things but otherwise, I'm vehemently against this culture of teaching kids through harshness. Forget even hitting. I don't think those things, they work in our time. And even not really, to be honest with you. They didn't even work in our time. But people didn't know any better. They didn't know how to teach better. Or however, they felt that this is how they expressed their education. But the kids nowadays, all they want is someone to talk to them sweetly and nicely, with respect. You give a kid respect, that's it. Just give them respect and muhabbat. You don't need to give them a stick. No, they don't. They're young and they're sweet kids. And that's why I tell parents, your children deal with a lot of stress. And I understand how you think to yourself and you're like, what do you mean stress? What do you know about stress? Do you have bills to pay? Do you have car insurance? That's real. I get it. That is exactly. Your stress is stress for you, but their stress is also stress. Recognize their challenges as stress and recognize their challenges as challenges. And then understand that they're also going through things. You're not the only one. To them, it's big things. Their friends are not talking or they made fun, they don't have something. It's big for them. Understand it, talk to them, communicate with them, be affectionate and loving with them. Okay. We haven't even done 3-4 ayats yet. Yes. Jazakallah khair. So Harun Rashid, he heard a whole commotion and a queue. Look, from where to where did we end up? We basically were driving to Dallas, but ended up taking an exit and ended up in Houston. We missed the turn. The what? Yes. No, I definitely believe that all masajid should have that inclusivity in it. He is, mashallah, I met him in Ikna a few weeks ago when I went to drop by. So I was sitting in a restaurant and he was standing in line. I don't know if anyone's been to Kebab Palace in DC. And Kebab Palace is very packed. It is very small. And it's packed like sardines. Yeah, so he was with a group of students And now I'm a very small person, so no one knows me. He's a famous person. Everybody knows him. So everyone's around him and flocking to him. And I was just quietly sitting in the back. And some of his students came and they're trying to push away and clean away. And I was just like, okay. I think, mashallah, your Hazrat is here. I get it. So I moved a little to the side and they were holding the table and this and that. And then when his students and everyone was there and the time came for the food, I quietly came and I hugged him and then I gave my card there. And he said, no, this person. I said, you're going to take it. He said, no, Mufti, we're seeing this and that. I said, this is 100% halal money. I said, the barakah of 100% halal is his own barakah. I'm not saying yours isn't halal, but I'm saying that take the barakah of someone else as well. And give us barakah and bless yourself as well. And he said, jazakallah khair, this and that. So he's a very talented young man. And he's, mashallah, he has good suhbah with the different mashayikh. So he's an asset to our community. And he's made a huge difference amongst our youth and our new generation. Khair. وَتُعِزُّ مَنْ تَشَاءُ وَتُضِلُّ مَنْ تَشَاءُ بِيَدِكَ الْخَيْرُ. Allah gives izzah and honor to whom He wills. وَتُضِلُّ مَنْ تَشَاءُ. He gives dishonor to whom He wills. بِيَدِكَ الْخَيْرُ. And in the hands of Allah is all good. إِنَّكَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. For indeed Allah is powerful over everything. تُولِجُ اللَّيْلَ فِي النَّهَارِ وَتُولِجُ النَّهَارَ فِي اللَّيْلِ وَتُخْرِجُ الْحَيَّ مِنَ الْمَيِّتِ وَتُخْرِجُ الْمَيِّتَ مِنَ الْحَيِّ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inserts the night into the day and the day into the night. If it is night in Saudi Arabia, it is day in California. If it is night in California, it is day in Saudi Arabia. وَتُخْرِجُ الْحَيَّ مِنَ الْمَيِّتِ وَتُخْرِجُ الْمَيِّتَ مِنَ الْحَيِّ. Allah brings the living from the dead and the dead from the living. What is the example of this? Of plants. Not as scientific of an answer I was looking for. What came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg is mayyit. The chicken is living. تخرج الحي من الميت وتخرج الميت من الحي. Allah brings the living from the dead. He brings the chicken from an egg. وتخرج الميت من الحي. And Allah brings an egg from a chicken. What came first, chicken or the egg? The answer is right here. وَتُخْرِجُ الْحَيَّ مِنَ الْمَيِّتِ. Allah came first. وَتُخْرِجُ الْحَيَّ مِنَ الْمَيِّتِ. He brings the living from the dead and the dead from the living. وَتَرْزُقُ مَنْ تَشَاءُ بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. And Allah gives this to whomever He wills without any hisab. لَا يَتَّخِذِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ الْكَافِرِينَ أَوْلِيَاءَ مِنْ دُونِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ وَمَنْ يَفْعَلْ ذَلِكَ فَلَيْسَ مِنَ اللَّهِ فِي شَيْءٍ. And don't take the people who are disbelievers as friends other than the believers. Whoever does this, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has وَفَلَيْسَ مِنَ اللَّهِ فِي شَيْءٍ. Then Allah has nothing for that person. إِلَّا أَن تَتَقُوا مِنْهُ تُقَاء. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that unless you do so for a protective measure to save yourself, then that is permissible. The idea over here, awliya, wali over here is a guardian. It's someone as you find as your only support. As you see in the Middle East right now, that where no one is working together, no one is working with one another and trying to help the world at large. وَيُحَذِّرُكُمُ اللَّهُ نَفْسَهُ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warns you about Himself. وَإِلَى اللَّهِ الْمَصِيرُ. And towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala you will be going. قُلْ إِن تُخْفُوا مَا فِي صُدُورِكُمْ أَوْ تُبْدُوهُ يَعْلَمْهُ اللَّهُ. If you hide whatever is in your chest or you make it apparent, Allah will know. وَيَعْلَمُ مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. And Allah knows whatever is in the heavens and in the earth. وَاللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows everything. يوم تجد كل نفس ما عملت من خير محضرا. And every single day, and on that day, every soul will know what they have done, and it will be present before them. You know, when a person has makes a dinner and they present their food on a table, your a'mal will be presented like a buffet before you. That this is all that you have done in your life. تود لو أن بينها وبينه أمدا بعيدا. They will wish that there was a far and long distance between them, meaning they want to be very far away from their own actions. They don't want to be close to their own actions. وَيُحَذِّرُكُمُ اللَّهُ نَفْسًا, and Allah warns you about Himself. وَاللَّهُ رَءُوفٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is compassionate with His servants. قُلْ إِن كُنتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي. If you love Allah, then love me. Then follow me. يُحْبِبَكُمُ اللَّهُ. Allah will love you. وَيَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ ذُنُوبَكُمْ, and He will forgive your sins. وَاللَّهُ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. And Allah is forgiving and merciful. إِن كُنتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ. The path to Allah is through فَاتَّبِعُونِي, is through Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You cannot get close to Allah without the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, without the methodological way of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, without the way of the Prophet, without the path of the Prophet, you cannot get to Allah. If anyone is inviting to you a path that is other than the path of Rasulullah, that path will not lead you to Allah. قُلْ أَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَالرَّسُولَ. Say, obey Allah and His Messenger. Those who deny hadith, they say this was politically motivated. What dalil do they have? Nothing. What evidence do they have? Nothing. They just have allergy to the Prophet ﷺ's words. That's why they don't follow the Prophet's words. The people over here, look at Allah saying, قُلْ أَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَالرَّسُولَ. Follow Allah and the Messenger. فَإِن تَوَلَّوْا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْكَافِرِينَ. And if they turn back, then know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like the disbelievers. We're going to skip the next few verses till verse 63. We will come back to these verses on Saturday, inshallah, because this is the story of Isa alayhi salam, and for the youth and for the youngsters, it's easier for them to listen to a story. So we will come back to this story on Saturday, inshallah. Okay? Verse 63. Everyone is there? فَإِن تَوَلَّوْا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلِيمٌ بِالْمُفْسِدِينَ. If they turn back, then know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows who are the people who do fitna. قُلْ يَا أَهْلَ الْكِتَابِ تَعَالَوْا إِلَى كَلِمَةٍ سَوَاءٍ بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَكُمْ أَلَّا نَعْبُدَ إِلَّا اللَّهَ وَلَا نُشْرِكَ بِهِ شَيْئًا. Say, O people of the book, ta'alaw, come. You know the word ta'al in Arabic, where it comes from? It comes from the Arabic word ulu. Ulu means to raise someone to a high platform. So ta'al literally means you usually tell someone who is on a lower platform to someone on a higher platform. So you tell someone ta'al, you're sitting down, ta'al, come up here. That's how the word is used. But it's not used in the other way around. Ta'al is used to raise someone. And it should not generally be used by a junior to their senior. Someone younger to someone older. Say, O people of the book, come ila kalimatin sawa'in baynana wa baynakum, to a common theme between the both of us. Allah na'buda illa Allah. Let's not worship anything but Allah. Interfaith. This is how interfaith should be done. وَلَا نُشْرِكَ بِهِ شَيْئًا. And so that we don't do shirk on anything. وَلَا يَتَّخِذَ بَعْضُنَا بَعْضًا أَرْبَابًا مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ. And let's not take this Peer or that priest, Peer and priest, the two. Let's not take this one or that one as our gods other than Allah. فَإِن تَوَلَّوْا فَقُولُوا اشْهَدُوا بِأَنَّا مُسْلِمُونَ. If they turn back, tell them, bear witness that we are Muslims. يَا أَهْلَ الْكِتَابِ لِمَ تُحَاجُّونَ فِي إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَمَا أُنزِلَتِ التَّوْرَاةُ وَالْإِنْجِيلُ إِلَّا مِنْ بَعْدِهِ أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ. O people of the book, why are you debating about Ibrahim? Don't you know Torah and Injil only came after? أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ? Ibrahim didn't follow Torah or Injil, so what did he follow? What was his madhab? You are calling Jews to be the people who are after Musa alayhi salam. So what about Ibrahim? What was he? ها أنتم هؤلاء حاججتم فيما لكم به علم فلم تحاجون فيما ليس لكم به علم. Look, this is what you are. You are debating, you have already argued about things that you have knowledge. You have already argued about matters concerning which you have knowledge. فَلِمَ تُحَاجُّونَ فِي مَا لَيْسَ لَكُمْ بِهِ عِلْمٍ. Why talk about things that you have no knowledge and you have no idea what you're talking about? وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Allah knows and you don't know. ما كان إبراهيم يهوديا ولا نصرانيا لكن كان حنيفا مسلما. Ibrahim alayhi salam wasn't Yahudi or Nasrani. He was Hanifa. It's not Hanafi. Hanifa over here means he was monotheistic, on the straight path. Someone came and said Ibrahim was Hanafi. I said Tawbah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. How is Ibrahim going to be Hanafi? I said, some people say ajib things. Someone came and they said, look, in the Quran, Allah says, Aliyun siratun mustaqim. Ali is ala siratun mustaqim. I said, غير المغضوب عليهم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم ala siratun mustaqim. He said, ala here is not ala, it's Ali. Because they're spelled the same way. So he says, Ali siratun mustaqim. And the man said, okay, then it was Yazid min fadlillah. In the Quran, Allah says Yazid. That Yazid is not that Yazid. That Yazid is we grow it. So when people start making the Quran into these weird and random points and aspects, learn the Quran properly, learn Arabic properly, learn the meaning properly. Everyone here should learn Arabic. Next year, after Ramadan is done, make it a commitment. You know how long it takes to learn 40% of the Quran? 4 months. And 80%? 8 months. That's it. Next Ramadan, you can understand parts and aspects of the kitab that you're reading. I think there's a whole program or classes that happen here, right? They have a whole project and program. Look, you won't have mastery of it. But imagine yourself in a dark room. And while you're praying salah, it's like you have blinds before you. You don't know where you're going. And then when you learn some Arabic and Quran, then you won't understand everything, but there will be moments when it will be like the sun has risen before you. And you will feel a connection to the kitab because that one word you understood. You know how that excitement you get when you hear a prophet's name when you're reading salah? I understand. Isa mentioned you don't know anything else before or after what's going on. This one Hafiz was reading Tarawih last year somewhere, and I went and I was listening to him, and he was talking about the story of Nuh alayhi salam and about how Allah saved the people. So he was like, Allah saved them. Then he drowned them with Fir'aun. Because he didn't know the Quranic ayat properly, so he made a mistake. He was talking about the flood of Nuh, and then he ended up in the flood of Fir'aun with the mistake. We had another youngster who was leading Salah, and he was reading Surah Yusuf, and then he was talking about the part where Yusuf was thrown into the well, and then he said Allahu Akbar, and he finished the Salah. So one of the scholars said, "Bhai, take Yusuf out of the well, you've left him there. At least finish the little part of the story before people don't know where to stop, where to go, and what to say." Khair. وَمَا كَانَ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. He wasn't a mushrik. إن أولى الناس بإبراهيم للذين اتبعوه وهذا النبي. Indeed, the closest people to Ibrahim are those who followed him and this prophet. والذين آمنوا, and the believers. والله ولي المؤمنين, and Allah is the friend of the believers. وَدَّتْ طَائِفَةٌ مِّنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ لَوْ يُضِلُّونَكُمْ, and a group of people from the Ahl al-Kitab, they desired and they hoped that لَوْ يُضِلُّونَكُمْ, that they could misguide you. وَمَا يُضِلُّونَ إِلَّا أَنفُسَهُمْ وَمَا يَشْعُرُونَ, and they don't misguide anyone but themselves, but you just don't recognize and you don't understand. Is it too fast or you're able to follow? You're able to follow, right? It's okay, right? Speed is okay? Good, everyone? يا أهل الكتاب لم تكفرون بآيات الله وأنتم تشهدون. O people of the book, why do you disbelieve in Allah? Disbelieve in the signs of Allah while you can witness and see them and you know this is the truth. يا أهل الكتاب لم تلبسون الحق بالباطل وتكتمون الحق وأنتم تعلمون. O أهل الكتاب, why do you wrap truth with falsehood? Why do you hide what is true and you know what is the truth? And today this happens a lot with the Muslim imams and the new speakers. We don't know how to answer a question, or we just believe it and say, oh no, things were different back then, things are different now. We don't know how to answer questions, we just sway it away a little bit. No, some things, yes, they are cultural. Back then it was different, and now it is different, yes. But not every time you don't know an answer, just change it. Someone came to a sister in one of our interfaith communities, and they said, why is it that one Muslim wears hijab and the other doesn't wear hijab? She didn't know the answer. She said, oh no, hijab is just, everything is hijab, men have hijab, you have hijab of the body, hijab of the soul, hijab of this. I said, why are you getting so philosophical? I said, she just asked you a simple question, tell her that some people follow, some people don't follow, khalas. Everyone is of different spirituality. Just because some Christians go to church on Sundays and some don't, does that make them not Christians? Different levels, different imans, different faiths, different journeys, different struggles. We don't judge or measure people's faith. Allah knows at the end of the day. It's a simple answer. No, but then we change it, we alter it, Ajib. وقالت طائفة من أهل الكتاب آمنوا بالذي أنزل على الذين آمنوا وجه النار. The people, the munafiqeen in Medina, what some of them did was they would bring Islam in the beginning of the day, and then in the evening they would say, oh no, we didn't like Islam, we're kafir now, to destroy the moral of the Muslims. Now, the Muslims get really excited when someone becomes Muslim. What happens? MashaAllah, takbir on the first day. Brother John, they ask him, Brother John, what is going to be your new Muslim name? Brother, become John. Don't be John anymore, be John. And that's a reality. The person themselves has a Persian name, but then they want this brother to change their name. I'm like, you have a Persian name, you have an Urdu name, your name is Gulab Ka Phool or Shan Ka Masala, whatever your name is, your parents chose for you, and now you see Brother John over here and you say, no, change your Muslim name. There is no need to change into a... Yes, sister, you have something to say? He said Rabb Nawaz. What did he say? Rabb Nawaz. MashaAllah. See, we have a live example right here. MashaAllah. This is the reality. The Prophet sallallahu. Will you say something? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet ﷺ said, have good names. If you want to call someone, the best names are Abdullah, Abdurrahman, and Haman. Hamam is the name that in Hadith it comes. The Prophet ﷺ motivated us to keep the name Hamam. Or Humam, not Hamam. Humam. Very prestigious. Ha mim mim. From which word? Yes, same word. I'm pulling out the dictionary's translation for you guys. 1 second. What did they call you in school? Amen. A meme? What do they call you? What's your name, brother? High-minded, magnanimous, heroic, gallant, generous, prestigious. Whenever we refer to Imam Bukhari, we usually call him Al-Imam Al-Humam. When the scholars of Hadith usually refer to Imam Bukhari, they call him Imam Al-Humam, meaning the prestigious Imam. وَبِالسَّنَدِ الْمُتَّصِلِ مِنَّا إِلَى الْإِمَامِ الْهُمَامِ حَدَّثَنَا. That's how they do it. So when we say a Hadith in Bukhari, we generally say وَبِالسَّنَدِ الْمُتَّصِلِ مِنَّا إِلَى الْإِمَامِ. So I am saying this Hadith with an unbroken chain from myself to Imam al-Humam, the prestigious Imam. That's how we say it in Arabic. وَبِالسَّنَدِ الْمُتَّصِلِ مِنَّا بِالْإِمَامِ الْهُمَامِ. When we're saying Hadith, because then Imam Bukhari says his chain. So we say from me till Imam Bukhari there's an unbroken chain. And that chain I don't give after 40 hadiths, by the way. Alhamdulillah, I have one of the shortest chains existent. The second shortest in the world. And I've traveled and gotten ijazah from so many people, but I did it was very difficult to get those ijazahs. I don't give those ijazahs very lightly. I give ijazahs based on someone studied hadith on a scholarly capacity with me. Because my sanads are very ali sanads and very high sanads. If I give them out to everybody, they'll lose their value. If everything is in the bazaar, it becomes normal then. But my sanad, you won't get by even giving 10,000, 100,000, a million. My sanad can't be sold. My sanad only goes and only is given by studying and spending that time and finally coming to that level. Because it took me 7 years to get mine. You can be great students. You can be great students. Or you have so many other people to teach. I'm just your Ramadan samosa. I'm just there for Ramadan. You know, outside of Ramadan, you don't have the same drinks and the same food outside Ramadan. Ramadan, you have samosa, dahi bade, ruh hafza, all of that is Ramadan menu. Ramadan menu and outside menu is different. Ji, Rati Auntie. The main reason I really wanted to do the tafsir is because I did it last year and I enjoyed it thoroughly. So this is the reason why I wanted to do it this year as well. But the reality is, the honesty is, if I'm being very honest, there are so many youth in this community that need. On a daily basis, there are youth literally making appointments 3 days. Ask this guy how much he comes. He's still waiting for a time to sit and speak to me. And I have a date set with him in 10 days that I'm going to be sitting and talking to him. No. It's just because usually I don't have family around. So when they're there, I try to give as much as time and keep it to that. Not that there's any impositions or anything, but it's just for my own tabiyah. So when the summer comes, I want to spend a lot of focus. And mashallah for you all have suhbat of such great mashayikh, and you have so many classes and programs and halaqas happening. I become this, what is this called? As they say in Urdu, kabab mein haddi. وقال طائفة من أهل الكتاب آمنوا بالذي أنزل على الذين آمنوا وجه النهار. The Prophet said, have a good name. Doesn't mean you have to have a Islamic name. It doesn't have to be an Arabic name. It's good, but doesn't have to be. Don't force people. أنزل على الذين آمنوا وجه النهار واكفروا آخره لعلهم يرجعون. And disbelieve in the evening so that they may turn back. There was once a newspaper that was competing a new newspaper that was competing against a older newspaper. So now this competition, they wanted to remove the competition. So what they did was that they knew that they had the ability and the skill set to kind of go and outrun the other news company that was happening before them. So what the bigger company did was that the first day the small company began making their news, they went and they bought. No, that's not what happened. There was a news company that was speaking against one political person. And he said, how do I stop this? So what he did was that the first day he went, and he bought all of their entire volume. So now they were like, oh, we were sold out. Let us get more. So they doubled the volume. He bought the whole thing the next day too. Quietly, had different people buy it, vendors. They did it too. We did more. Third day, tripled the order. He did this for a few months. Invested everything behind it. And then when they reached at a level that their flow was so much, but there actually wasn't many people buying it. It was only few places it was being bought and it was being destroyed. So when he moved out of the market, the man is stuck with a production contract of tens and thousands of newspapers that no one is there to read and buy. And within a week or so, the whole company flopped and they sold the company. And he went and he bought the company, and then he began his own news thing from there. And he started giving positive coverage for himself. This is the same tactic. Amanu wajhan nahar wakfuru akhirahu. They believe at the beginning of the day and then they disbelieve in the evening. If you want to follow in your Quran or something, we're on ayah number 73, Surah Al-Imran. وَلَا تُؤْمِنُوا إِلَّا لِمَنْ تَبِعَ دِينَكُمْ. And don't believe, وَلَا تُؤْمِنُوا, don't believe anyone إِلَّا لِمَنْ تَبِعَ دِينَكُمْ, but those who follow your deen. قُلْ إِنَّ الْهُدَى هُدَى اللَّهِ. Indeed, the hidayah is the hidayah of Allah. There is this movement, bhai, sabka to ek hi khuda hai na? We all have the same God, right? No. قُلْ إِنَّ الْهُدَى هُدَى اللَّهِ. The hidayah and the guidance is the guidance of Allah. أَن يُؤْتَى أَحَدٌ مِثْلَ مَا أُوتِيتُمْ أَوْ يُحَاجُّوكُمْ عِنْدَ رَبِّكُمْ. أَن يُؤْتَى أَحَدٌ مِثْلَ مَا أُوتِيتُمْ. That someone may get as you have gotten. أَوْ يُحَاجُّوكُمْ عِنْدَ رَبِّكُمْ. Or that they debate to you by their Allah. قُلْ إِنَّ الْفَضْلَ بِيَدِ اللَّهِ. Tell them that bounty and virtue and generosity and compassion is in the hands of Allah. يُؤْتِيهِ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. Allah gives to whom He wills. وَاللَّهُ وَاسِعٌ عَلِيمٌ. And Allah is wasi'un alim. What I was saying about Harun Rashid was that when Harun Rashid was in Basra, he heard a whole commotion. And when he heard the commotion, he thought there was a coup. So he told Zubaydah, he said, what's going on? And she said, the real Khalifa has entered the town. And that was Hassan Basri rahimahullah had entered Basra, or he had entered Baghdad. And in Baghdad there was a commotion to go see Hassan Basri, and the commotion was so great that Harun Rashid thought that there was going to be a coup. And he asked Zubaydah, what's going on? She said, the real man has come. Aap to aise hi hai. You're just by name. The real man came. And then the iconic words were said, لَيْسَ الْمَلِكُ الَّذِي يَمْلِكُ عَلَى رُؤُوسِ النَّاسِ إِنَّمَا الْمَلِكُ الَّذِي يَمْلِكُ عَلَى قُلُوبِ النَّاسِ. لَيْسَ الْمَلِكُ. The king isn't the one. يَمْلِكُ عَلى رُؤُوسِ النَّاسِ. The one who reigns over the bodies of people. إِنَّمَا الْمَلِكُ. The true king is the one. يَمْلِكُ عَلى قُلُوبِ النَّاسِ. That reigns over the hearts of people. You can be a king, but sitting on the floor if you are reigning over the hearts of other people. And then you can have a whole company and have people's bodies and their minds inside your company, but their heart can despise you and they can disobey you and they're looking at a way out and they're looking to be against you. So to focus on reigning over the hearts of people and not over the bodies of people. When we are dealing with our children, we reign over their bodies. You can't go then, come at this time, sit here, go there. Our hukumat is on their bodies and not on their hearts. And that's why the moment when their bodies are no longer in our control, they break away from us and they go away from us. But if you focus on their heart, give them love and muhabbat, and you insert there, and you stay there, you focus on their heart and give them that love, affection, teach them the adab and etiquette and make them understand, then their bodies, no matter how old they are, will be sitting next to you. There was this, I did itikaf in Madinah Munawwara with the former Mufti of Medina. His name is slipping my mind. Very great scholar, elderly man. And I saw 7 people older than my father standing around him, someone pressing his feet, his back, his shoulders, his beard. And I was looking and that sheikh and I became, it was very interesting, is because we had a very hardcore Saudi sheikh next to me on my right, and then you had a very hardcore Pir on my left. And I was in the middle. And it was beautiful, because all 3 of us, though we may have our own perspectives and views on certain issues, there was incredible love amongst all 3 of us. The Pir would send his students over there, this one would go over there. It was a beautiful interaction. And then every Fajr, there was a person that would come, and when he would come, everyone would get up and meet him, and he would sit, and his children were one of the most, and his family was one of the most beautiful family that my eyes have ever set on. There was a certain glimpse and a nur on their family, and when they came, there was a drove of 15, 20 of them, and they came and they would sit down. And the Mufti would get up to meet them, and the other people would come. So I asked one person, I said, who is this man? They said he's a direct descendant of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They said, and their family is very known family. And their sanad is authentic sanad. And everyone knows about it. So I sat there first day, second day, third day. Then I went to the eldest one amongst them. He had a shawl on his right side. And I said, I want a shawl from you. He said to me, I have a new one at home. I'll give it to you. I said, no, I want one that you've worn before. I want something that's been on you. And he said, okay. So the next day, he came, he was wearing a shawl, then he came and he dropped it on my shoulder. So I have that shawl with me at home. I wear it for very, very special occasions. And so I saw this man, and everyone around him is serving him, all older. And I'm thinking these are ulama, and these are his students, and they're all. So I asked the man around, I said, what did you study from the sheikh? He said, what did we study? What do you mean, what did we study from the sheikh? I said, what book of hadith, tafsir? The man said, I'm a lawyer. I'm a doctor. I'm a chief of police. I'm like, so who's the alim? They said, none of us are. I said, why are you pressing his feet? That's our father. And I said, how many? They said, we're 7 kids, and all of us come every day. They taught him around our father's circle, someone grabbing the feet, someone the hands. This is real wealth. This is real wealth. At this age, now you know what real wealth is. No money in the world can buy few moments of your children's time. No money in the world can buy your children coming into your room, sitting and smiling and joking with you. No money in the world can buy your children going and calling and saying, Mom, let's go out and eat food today. Let's go and have food. Let's go and eat. That is true wealth. Teach them dunya. Teach them, no, beta, we just have to make money. The first expense they're going to see is you. Parents who focus, and their primary focus is just the dunya, only the dunya, excel in the dunya. That is it. By all means necessary. I knew a family. The net worth of the family, easily, without exaggeration, is maybe 3-4 million. Maybe more. 5 million, 6 million. Easily. They went somewhere to eat food. The mother is telling me the story herself. Children are all millionaires. Highly educated. But the mother works at a convenience store. Not one example. I know multiple examples. Children have a 6-figure salary. Mother is still doing tuition. Mother is still doing this. No. What do you mean, Mom? This is my money. Wait, what? My money? Anta wa maluka li abik. You and everything is your family, your parents. My money? My mom owes your mom? How does your mom owe you? When she borrowed $100 from me, wait, brother, hello, listen to yourself. What do you mean she owes you? How can a parent owe a child? You are drowning in debt, my brother. How can she owe you? A man is drowning in debt and you say, they owe you? Invest in children, invest in akhlaq. You will be the first recipients of it. So now, this family, they go out to eat dinner at a restaurant. Multi-million-dollar family. The son goes, he buys food for himself, his wife, his kid, and then leaves the line and keeps his mother standing there. The second son does the same thing. The third son buys the same thing, just for them, their family. They're splitting, millionaires, I have seen people who have nothing with more generous hearts. And that's what I told you. I've seen generosity at the hands of the poorest. I was in Bangladesh. One lady had one oven, gas thing, and sitting there making 7 dishes on it. They don't have hot water. And a lady's out there boiling water for us and bringing. People say, sorry, you can't stay. I'm like, no, our bathroom isn't working. I'm sorry, we have this construction. Our homes have gotten bigger, but our hearts have gotten smaller. Our money has grown, but our generosity has decreased. Our wealth has increased, but our generosity has decreased. Our means have grown, but our compassion has reduced itself. That's the main thing. There's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given so much dua for the wealthy that spends in his path. That ajr just doesn't come like that. It's because once the fitna is there, it's hard. And those who can surpass it, then their maqam is so high. That's why the Sahaba came to the Prophet, ذهب أهل الدثور بدرجات العلا والمقام النعيم. Ya Rasulullah, at the time of the Prophet, the wealthy were the most pious. So the Sahaba would go and complain. Ya Rasulullah, ذهب أهل الدثور بدرجات العلا والمقام النعيم. The rich have taken all the reward. Anytime it comes, they're the ones spending. Now, we pray one salah, but the rich man, he donated to the masjid, and now everyone praying salah is getting the ajr for it. How can I compete? The Prophet says, okay, say subhanallah 33 times, alhamdulillah 33, Allahu Akbar 34. They were in the corner. Brother, what are you reading? You guys have money, and we don't. And you guys finance so many good projects, and we can't. But the Prophet told us, if we do this, we'll be like you. Oh yeah, what did he tell you? He told us to do subhanallah 33 times, alhamdulillah 33, Allahu Akbar 34 times. Okay. They began sitting down also subhanallah, subhanallah, subhanallah. And they came, and they went, Ya Rasulullah, now they're doing the same thing. The Prophet said, whoever does the most will get more reward. But today, what do we do? Brother, I don't know, I just donate to the masjid. I just put it in. I just give it. I take care of orphans. I just send the money. Back in the day, the wealthy were the one who had more action as well. Today, it's our scapegoat. We feel less guilty by it. I hope you guys don't, at any capacity, think that I'm criticizing anyone who Allah has blessed financially. I'm speaking about predominant issues. Obviously, there's always anomalies. You always find people of all different calibers and categories as well. We'll stop for this. Actually, I'm going to just finish the end of the page so it's easier for me to remember what ayat I left off on. يختص برحمته من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم. Allah chooses with His rahmah to whomever He wills, and Allah is the one with bounty and immense bounty. ومن أهل الكتاب من إن تأمنه بقنطار يوده إليك. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, remember we were just talking, there are different groups of people. Amongst the wealthy, there are those who are not generous. And amongst the wealthy, there are those who are generous as well. There's both people. So Allah says here, وَمِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ مَنْ إِنْ تَأْمَنْهُ بِقِنْطَارِ يُؤَدِّهِ إِلَيْهِ. There are some that if you give them a heap of gold and silver, they will give it back to you, and they're very honest and trustworthy. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ إِنْ تَأْمَنْهُ بِدِينَارٍ لَا يُؤَدِّهِ إِلَيْكَ إِلَّا مَا دُمْتَ عَلَيْهِ قَائِمًا. However, there are some, if you give them just $1, even that they won't give back to you. There are some you can give them $1 million and they will be protected. And some you give them $1 and they won't even give that back to you until you don't have to yell and cry and beg them for it. People are of different types. When we speak of one type, we don't negate the other type. ذلك بأنهم قالوا ليس علينا في الأميين سبيل. That is because they have said that there is nothing that is, we are not blamed on how we deal with the Gentiles. We are not blamed how we deal with those who are not Jewish. However they are, it doesn't matter to us. They're below us, they're less than us. وَيَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذِبَ وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ. And they say lies upon Allah while they know. بَلَا مَنْ أَوْفَى بِعَهْدِهِ وَاتَّقَى فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُتَّقِينَ. However, the one who fulfills adab, there is a terrible adab, a painful adab, alim. From alam. Sorry, bas. Inshallah, we skip the story of Maryam alayhi salam, because we will do it on Saturday. There will be a lot more youth and youngsters in there. Bring your kids, inshallah, and we will do it then. Friday night we have our girls lock-in. Saturday we have our boys lock-in. Please do sign your kids up. Inshallah. Dua? Oh, that's what you said. Now I understand what you're saying. Okay, very good, very good. It's a good reminder. اللهم لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. اللهم أنت السلام منك السلام تبارك ربنا وتعاليت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. Ya Allah, forgive our major and minor sins. Ya Allah, forgive the sins we've done in the brightness of the day and the darkness of the night. Ya Allah, make us steadfast in our iman. Ya Allah, make iman and Islam beloved in our hearts. Ya Allah, forgive our parents and bless them with iman and health. Ya Allah, for those of our parents that are alive, keep their shade over us for a long time and allow us to earn their du'as. And Ya Allah, those parents who have passed on and grandparents and relatives that have passed on, Ya Allah, fill their grave with noor and fill their graves with rahmah. Expand their grave and give them sadaqah jariyah of the dars we have done. Ya Allah, make us your friends. Ya Allah, turn us away from sins. Ya Allah, we are wrapped and cloaked in our sins, drowning in our sins. Ya Allah, no one can save us besides yourself. Make us yours and become ours. Ya Allah, remove the love of the dunya from our hearts. Remove jealousy and anger and malice and anxiety and hatred and all of these diseases from our hearts. Ya Allah, make us like the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ya Allah, bring love in our families and our children. Ya Allah, make our family and our children excel in their endeavors in the dunya and the akhirah. Ya Allah, keep us steadfast. Ya Allah, keep love and muhabbat in this community. Ya Allah, protect the Muslims wherever they are, however they are, whenever they are. Ya Allah, protect the ahwal of the Muslimin in every place. Ya Allah, protect Masjid al-Aqsa, protect Masjid al-Aqsa, protect the Haramain. Ya Allah, every masjid, every madrasa, every dini organization. Ya Allah, support them, guide them, help them, assist them. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. If I forget to make dua, inshallah, remind me, inshallah. Jazakallah. Any question, one question or two questions before? Which is this? For the past? Yeah, 1 or 2 nights is fine. Inshallah. For the 10 nights itikaf? High school, middle school. How old is your kid? Yeah, we can make it work, inshallah. G? For college students, we have a whole set for the college students as well. We have a whole itikaf number for the college students as well, college and young professionals. We have a good amount of them staying, about 10, 15 of them, inshallah. Yeah. Do you want to talk to me?